great Tibetan Buddhist masters used to categorize the Four Noble Truths into two different categories. The two first Noble Truths are known to be the truths that is related to the mundane lifestyle, and then the two later Noble Truths are known to be related to the transmundane lifestyle. So, as we already have discussed the two earlier Noble Truths, which addresses our basic concern of unhappiness and suffering and its causes, now naturally appears the question if it is possible to solve the problem of unhappiness and suffering. For that reason, the third Noble Truth comes into existence, where we try to establish that suffering can be stopped. There is a possibility for a state free from the suffering, and it is established in this way that the suffering itself, it comes from its causes and conditions. If the causes and conditions of the suffering are stopped, then suffering will definitely come to cease. So that is how we establish a state where beings could be free from all types of suffering is possibility, because it is possible to stop all those causes and conditions which produces it. So that is one reason. So from that way, we try to establish the existence of a state free from the suffering, which is, in the other words, is nirvana. So the third truth is truth of cessation, an establishment of existence of a state where the sufferings are completely stopped. Then the question arises, it's quite natural that if such an existence or such a state does exist, then what are the ways to achieve that? Is it possible to achieve it? If something does exist, but there is no possibility to achieve that, then it is no worth of its existence. So for that reason, it's very important to establish and understand that this state of being free from the suffering does really exist, and it is possible to achieve. For that reason, in the fourth Noble Truth, Buddha tried to address how that state of being suffering could be achieved. The method, what are the ways, instructions and the procedure to move forward to achieve a state free from the suffering. So in the fourth Noble Truth, it teaches the path to cease the causes of suffering. Then normally we summarize all the causes of suffering into two categories: the delusion part and the karma part. These are two very important factors that contribute towards arising of suffering. So these two important factors are needed to be addressed, and it is very clearly and precisely addressed in Buddha's teachings, and Buddha taught how to get rid of these things. So the method is, when it comes to the delusion in the Buddhist scriptures, it explains all the different categories and varieties of delusions, including the ignorance, desire or craving, hatred or anger, arrogance, jealousy, indecisiveness, wrong or obsolete views. Those kind of things are basic, major delusions that plays kind of very strong and powerful role in our life, to shape our life. So it's very important that we should get rid of these things. If we manage to get rid of these things, we will definitely get rid of those consequences that arises from these things. So in the teachings of the Buddha, Buddha clearly taught the Eightfold Noble Path and the path of 6 perfections and 4 dwellings of the Brahmacharya, and all these different varieties of paths. The essential message is we need to reduce the influence of the harmful emotions or the delusions in our life. The more and more we decrease the impact and the influence of these negative thinking and negative thoughts, it will definitely help us to lead more peaceful and calm and happy life. Then naturally, if we get rid of the delusions, we should also work with the karmas to reduce the karmas, to stop producing new karmas, and all those things. And that goes in hand with dealing with the delusions. But the main approach is to deal with the delusion. Because delusion is one of the most powerful contributing factor or the condition that produces all the different varieties of suffering. If we don't have delusion or delusive thinking inside our system, then even if we have thousands of bad karmas, there won't be supporting factor which may contribute to the ripening of the bad karmas and will lead us to unhappiness and suffering. So for that reason, that's very important. That is the main reason why most of the time in the scriptures and in the training, we focus on practice of those factors of the path which contributes in a great scale to reduce the delusion, rather than focusing every energy into reducing the karma. So this training based on Eightfold Noble Path is the 4th and final truth, which in context of the Buddhist Mahayana training and Mahayana practices can be replaced with the practices of 6 perfection and 4 dwellings of the Brahmacharya. So this is a very brief explanation about 3rd and 4th noble truth. I hope you got some clarity from this explanation. If you need more clarification, I think you should learn more, you should read more book, and consult highly qualified, great teachers. Then you will definitely understand more. Thank you.